Hello, my name is Chris Brown. I'm the executive chef at the JW Marriott Orlando Grand Lakes. Grand Lakes is a combination of a JW Marriott hotel with 1,000 rooms and a Ritz-Carlton hotel with 600 rooms. We offer a luxury experience to those guests coming to the city of Orlando. A new venture that we have here at the hotel is Whisper Creek Farm, where you see right now. This is a new venture for us, and it started in October of 2012. We created the space in order to host unique farm-to-fork events in a farm setting, much different than what you normally see in a hotel in a ballroom setting. This is very authentic to the farm-to-fork experience. The next podcast that you will see features the very talented culinary team that we have at the JW Marriott and the Feast of the Fire. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to another podcast of Signature Chefs of Orlando. My name is Chris Brown. I'm the executive chef of the JW Marriott Grand Lakes here in Orlando, Florida. And I am excited to be cooking here at Whisper Creek's Farms right on property. And what I have for today is Chappa Bread with Provoleta, and we have Ricotta salata salad. Two very important condiments, or really salads and appetizers for our Feast of the Fire today that we're doing out at Whisper Creek Farm. But before I get into that, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been with Marriott now for over 13 years, and about half of that time I've been interested in a lot of barbecue, mostly Southern American barbecue. I've competed in several competitions, actually a certified barbecue judge as well, which kind of led us into the Argentinian style of cooking that you'll be seeing a lot of today. But no barbecue is a great barbecue without the appetizers and the salads to go along with it. So that is what I'll be showing you how to do today. So first, I have most of my mise en place here, but we will be putting to use our great garden here that we have on property. I have to go and pick a few things, so if you'd follow me, we'll go to it. So we're very fortunate here to have a 7,000 square foot garden right at our property. We have tons of different herbs. We have tomatoes growing right now. We were growing squash all season. Today I'm going to be picking some rosemary right here. This is going to be for our ricotta salata to give it a little bit of a savory flavor, and that should be enough right about there. Next we'll be picking some of our sage. We have many tropical plants also. You'll see banana trees right here. We have mangoes as well. We have pineapples growing along the whole perimeter. All of those grow really well here in the Florida environment. But here's the sage that I have now. I'll be picking that. This is actually going to be for the Provoleta. And again, another handful. We want to pick out any dead stuff there. And down here, we'll be picking some greens to go on top of our ricotta salata salad. Springtime is great for different kinds of greens. We have red mustard growing at one end of the farm, but today I've chosen to pick out a mizuna, which is kind of a bitter green. The ricotta salata that is very salty, so a nice bitterness to counterbalance the salty will be a really nice addition to the salad. So I go to find a nice green mizuna. These look pretty nice right here, and I'm going to just take a little bit of that. And after cutting this will actually grow back, so we should be able to get about 3 harvests out of each mizuna plant, and that goes for a lot of different greens. And we have our mise en place. We'll go back to our cooking station and start cooking. All right, so I've just washed and spun our mizuna lettuce, and we're going to actually do that salad in a little bit, so I'm going to set that aside. Before we do that, we're going to cook our provoleta. So I have provolone cheese here that we've cut to about 1 inch thickness, and the reason we do that is because we're going to be putting this on a very hot grill that's coated with oil. And if we cut it too thin, it would just completely melt and lose all of its texture, and you wouldn't be able to serve it at all. So that's the reason why we cut it to that thickness. So I have 4 slices here, and the first thing I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt here, just a tiny bit, because cheese is salty already. We also have sage that I just picked from the garden here and chopped up. Can be pretty liberal with this because a lot of it is going to end up falling off once we put it on our griddle or chappa. Then we have the last ingredient is crushed red pepper. So very simple. We don't need to get too crazy with a lot of flavors here. This adds a nice spice to the dish and a little bit of depth and savoriness. So I'm going to make sure that that's evenly sprinkled, and then we flip that over, press it down. That'll help those ingredients stay on there as well. And then repeat the process on the other side. And so beside me here, I have what we call our asado grande, and it is basically a large grill that we're using our oak wood once again, and we've got it to a perfect temperature where the griddle is not quite smoking. If it's smoking, then it's going to burn before the cheese actually melts, and we want to get that to a nice melting texture. So I'm going to put just a little bit of oil on there, and I'm not using pan spray, because if you ever tasted pan spray, it doesn't actually have great flavor. A better way is to take an old rag, and a clean rag, and have a little bit of olive oil. It doesn't need to be any special extra virgin or anything like that, but we set that on there, and I'm going to place these pieces of provolone right on this grill, and you can hear that nice sizzle. And while that is cooking, I have our Chappa Bread. And what Chappa Bread is, we are very fortunate at Grand Lakes where we make every single piece of bread fresh on property. So this was actually made this morning. It's been proofing for about the last 2 hours. You can see it's really light and doughy. It is basically a white bread with a little bit of butter and olive oil mixed into that. And we call it a Chappa Bread because it is cooked on a Chappa grill. So while the provolone is cooking here, I'm going to place these on the fire as well. I want to hear a nice little sizzle when I put them on there. That means that they're going to be cooking good. And then you can see the provolone is just starting to melt here, starting to get a little crispy. That is one of the things that makes this dish so special, is the texture that's created as the provolone cooks down. So you want a little bit of crispiness on there. And I'm just going to flip over. And that grill is absolutely perfect. You get that nice, crisp, melted provolone right there. It's nice to do a quick sweep. If you take too long, then this could happen here where the cooked part of it slides off. So it's nice to do a quick sweep there. And then the Chappa Bread is getting a little toasty here. You can see we have a hot spot. Argentinian cooking, there's a difference. A little bit of burnt food is actually a good thing. It adds a nice depth of flavor, a little bit of earthiness to it. So I'd say this is a little too much here. We won't serve that, but this right there, that is going to be a perfect amount of char. So then I'm going to take the provolone, again, a nice swift action with the spatula. I'll set these aside, and then I will grab our Chappa Bread which that's all it takes is just a quick sear on either side, and that Chappa bread finishes cooking all the way on the inside. And so that is it. We end up serving this with our family style platter, and our guests can actually cut right into this provolone cheese. Provoleta, you can see as I cut into it, it's nice and melted. Just like that. And we serve it with a little bit of the Chappa bread, and that is it. Simple, rustic, yet elegant. So that is our first course for our Feast of the Fire. And the next item we have is a grilled ricotta salata. Ricotta salata is ricotta cheese that's actually pressed and salted and then dried. So it's much more dense than the ricotta salata that you commonly see, or the ricotta that you would commonly see in the stores. So I've taken this, it comes in large rounds, and we've cut this in quarters. It already has plenty of salt content into it because it's already salted. So one thing, when you're always dealing with already salted cheese such as ricotta salata, such as feta cheese, you don't need to add any more salt to that dish. But what we will add is a little cracked black pepper. Okay, just like that. And then I have a little extra virgin olive oil here that I'm going to drizzle right on top here. Okay, next, this is not going on the Chappa grill. This is actually going right on the grill portion of our grill. So I'm going to, again, take that oiled rag, oil this nice so it doesn't stick. You have a lot better distribution there when you use that rag. And then I'm going to just gently place this, because this is somewhat brittle. Oil side down. Right on this grill. And this grill, we have just coals below it. We don't have any logs on there, for the reason that we don't want any flare-ups. We just want the marks of the actual grill grates to give the flavor of that char onto this ricotta salata. So no logs, just coal. While that is cooking, I'm going to clean up here a little bit. Going to get the salad ready to go from the Mizuna that we picked from the farm. So we have cherry tomatoes, we have Kalamata olives, we have our Mizuna. I'm going to take that Mizuna, put it right there, and then I'm going to add a little bit of our olives there, and then our tomatoes. Okay, we don't need to add too much salt, but just a little bit, because we're adding the salty Kalamata olives. The ricotta salata is also salty, but more importantly, we're going to add our cracked black pepper. And that should be good. The last thing is our extra virgin olive oil. And we take that and we give it a quick toss. We don't want to overwork it. Okay. And that is what is going to top our ricotta salata salad. Everybody always wonders how you get the beautiful grill marks on a steak. And what I'm doing here is I'm just rotating this cheese 90 degrees It's got some nice char marks already on there, but after I rotate it 90 degrees, that is how you get the nice cross-hatched markings on there. So we'll wait about the same amount of time as we had them cooking, so about a minute and a half. We'll wait for that to cook, so the same colored grill marks are going to be on both sides there. This ricotta salata, just when you grill it, it gives it a little extra depth in flavor that it wouldn't have if it wasn't grilled. Makes it a little bit more pleasing to eat. There's very few cheeses that can actually be grilled, but since this is pressed and is a lot more dense, you're actually able to do this. So I'm going to arrange these nicely so the final platter is going to look very nice. And then all I have to do to finish this off is to top this with our salad. And today everything is going to be served family style, so we're not doing individual plates or anything like that. It just really makes people get together and just it's a lot more personable experience. We want this nice and heaping, just like that. So we have our grilled ricotta salata salad with Mizuna and cherry tomatoes and Kalamata olives. And then we have our Provoleta, which we've grilled on a Chappa grill with Chappa bread. Enjoy.